time it is. Marvin Divine, Hoober, Axol, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Weird game, cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axol, and Hoober, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game, cool. Make them look like cool. Always play it cool. That's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing. Keep on doing.
You are now live with the Locked In Podcast. As always, your hosts for the evening, Steve Ushler and George Mecaj. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to turn notifications on to stay up to date with the most current personal development tips and sports analysis. With that being said, welcome to the podcast and enjoy the show. Yes. Welcome to the podcast, as you heard there, and welcome to the show, guys. Episode 139 of yours truly, the Locked In Podcast. We made it to 139, 11 away from 150. Crazy. I was actually looking past these episodes, George, and man, it's crazy how far we've come, man. Some of the episodes don't feel like they were that long ago. Some were about 2.5 years ago. I was looking at the one with Mike Akins, and I was like, wow, man. Like Dan's first time coming on, Marius' first time coming on, man. It's been a long time, dude. We've been doing this, and we're essentially
we've been a lot of episodes in, right? Building up.
Yeah, man, crazy to think how far we've come, man. But obviously, still always work to do, man. Always trying to grow. We're nowhere near where we want to be. Of course, we're always trying to grow. But guys,
that's the goal, guys.
Yeah,
grow.
Yeah, we were on the sports analysis side last week. We mainly
You're home for all the news.
Yeah, we mainly cover sports and personal development, but now we're back in the personal development realm this week. As this is kind of more so a buffer week between guests. So I believe I announced we were supposed to have a guest this week when we were ending last week, but I think that's kind of been flipped to next week now. So we try to keep up to date of who we have scheduled and what our topics are, but this is like a little bit of a buffer week, more of a last minute topic that me and George were chatting about. And now when we linked up the other day, and now here we are. 139, and we don't want to keep you too long because, George has to be out pretty shortly, and I can't stay too long either. So just want to keep this a relatively quick episode. There's 2 talking points tonight. So if you saw the promotion, what we're talking about, and George knows, we're talking about routine. Yep. Routine, right? Doesn't matter. So we talk a lot about organization and routine on this podcast. We've talked morning routines, night routines, daily routines, and habits. We've preached habits, different things. But all in all, in the grand scope of things, does routine really matter if you want to achieve success in this life? Success means different to everybody. So does routine matter? And also, you hear the famous saying, I'm not sure what happened with George. I have no clue. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I can't connect them right now. So hopefully, George, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm echoing.
Yeah,
I'm echoing.
I got it. Don't worry about it. 1 second. There we go, bro. Okay. Much better, right?
Yeah, I'm not echoing now.
I got my headphones on.
Yeah.
You know what happened? I couldn't really understand. Like, the voice is getting really choppy, so I just switched to a computer real fast. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's all right. So saying routine doesn't matter, and also you hear, early bird gets the worm, get up before the sun, beat the sun up. There's a lot of things about, getting up early and stuff like that. But in the grand scope of things, does that even matter? Does it really matter? We all have 24 hours and we can utilize them at different points. But, we'll talk about it and we'll have the discussion. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, you already know what you have to do here. You have to hit that subscribe button. And you got to hit the notification button, turn notifications on, because we release new content every single week. I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. So make sure for your own well-being to stay up to date on the most current personal development tips and sports analysis. We cover all 4 sports, well, the main 4, and then also we cover soccer. We'll cover some MMA. So anything with sports, you want to stay up to date, hit that subscribe button as well. Facebook, hit the like button. If you're not already joined on the Facebook group, you're watching on YouTube, make sure you go to our Facebook pages. The link tree is down below. It gives you to all of our platforms. Follow us on Instagram. Check out our website. Check out any of our stuff. You can download our episodes on Spotify if you're listening. And we always appreciate the support. Also, if you see something you like, you want to contribute to this conversation here tonight and let us know what you guys think of the topic, comment below. We'll go back and forth. We'll engage with you. So we'll put your comments up here on the screen unless you tell us not to. So we'll put them up on the screen for you.
Also, don't be scared to do some, some like Steve said, some calling in or maybe possibly trying to chime in. Definitely, he said he can bring you in. Your feedback is important. If it's not something we don't like necessarily, we're always trying to hear from the audience and what they got to say about the stuff, as well as their perspectives and possible stuff that you guys want to hear us talk about. But go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. George is right there. We usually try to cover. We have our niche and the 2 topics that we usually talk about. So, yeah, I already know what it is. Let's hop into the topic. Don't want to waste too much time. I know you got about 20 minutes-ish. I got about 35. So, I just want to kind of top this topic.
Like that.
Let's kick the conversation, man. Routine. What are your? Since I've been talking a lot, man. What's your thoughts on this, man? Routine. Does it matter? You think it matters in life?
Yeah, I mean, I like the way you did the intro with the routine, bro, but the matters, doesn't matter. It's a really big question, it's a very common question that we had for many years. People have always sort of wondered. I think that routine is important and definitely kind of essential, but I don't think that it matters all the time in the long run. I think it matters more to focus on sort of what you got to do and how to kind of create routine and make it work for you, basically, if that makes some sense. Like, get up a certain schedule, get something going on, have things planned in advance, have that routine, but you can also switch your routine too, and we'll get to that a little later. But I think that's what it is, bro. I think routines are essential, but I don't think, I mean, it matters, but I don't think that, it's all about the routine at the end of the day. And I don't think it's the main thing, it's just the routine, I think it's also the will to get up and to focus on things, be in the routine.
Yeah, that's a good point. In my opinion, through my past experience, current experience, people around me, people I know who are achieving a certain level of success and are you can tell they got good energy, they're successful people. I think routine is important. It would be wrong of me to say it's not, after what we preach on this podcast about habits, morning routine, night routine, and things like that. Obviously, you're going to understand to a certain scope that routine is important to us. I just want to test something. George, can you hear me all right? Am I breaking up at all? Am I good?
No, you're not. No, you're good.
All right, your thing's lagging a little bit, which is I just want to make sure that it's not my Wi-Fi
I
or
can hear
anything.
you.
So
No. We're actually,
okay,
I mean, can you hear me? Because I can hear you perfectly, bro.
I can hear you. Your screen just lags here and there, but it's other than that, it's still good. I can still hear you. But I was gonna say, so you're gonna know routine is something we preach a lot here. So it does, in a certain scope, make sense. I think routine is important for success. There's a lot of chaos that goes on in the life of a very successful person, whether it's career, health, and fitness. You try to juggle all the big things in life, the big three. You try to juggle your relationships, your career, your health, your wellness, and then anything else you got. We have the average day tasks that we have to handle, our errands, other things. Unless you outsource them and pay somebody else to do them, the thing is, these things have to be taken care of too. So routine, you have to structure the chaos. You got to find a way to kind of structure the chaos that goes on in life. If you're a very busy person, usually the more successful you are, the more you do have going on. So unless you're retired or whatever the case may be, but I think you need to structure that chaos. So there has to be routine there. Now so like I said, we're just gonna get right to the 2 points of the topic tonight. I want to ask you this one, George. To you, in your opinion, does beating the sun up matter?
Mm-hmm.
Does actually getting up early in the morning matter? People say beat the sun up, early bird gets the worm. You got to wake up early. You got to beat the sun up. Does it really matter in the grand scope of things to you?
Mm, good point, man. There's an expression, bro. He beat the sun, but he also beat his schedule. He beat his work too. That means that like you did it too soon. You got up maybe, but your job, you don't start yet, or the gym might not be open yet. You know what I mean? Not not jokingly, he beat the sun, but he beat his schedule too, right? To sum it up though, basically, like you said, yeah, I think if you could do that sometimes, it's okay. Beating the sun or trying to like again do to kind of like put in layman's terms and to be clear on this. I don't think that matters as much, bro. I think it matters to you to be up at a certain time. If the sun is already up, I prefer the sun's up already, and I'm kind of like just waking up as the sun kind of like just it just became daylight, so I can kind of like program my day a little bit. I also find that I have more time. I have a lot more time when I'm when I'm up early, but it doesn't have to be necessarily you like being up with the moon or beating the sun or beating everybody else. Although I am also a firm believer that, like you said, the what do you call it again? The quote: first person gets the first worm. First, early bird gets early. The first gets a early worm.
Right.
So
So that's I agree a little bit with your opinion there. What I was gonna say is I don't believe that really matters. Getting up before
yeah,
the sun gets
exactly.
up. Beating the sun up to me, at the end of the day, we have a full 24 hours. So your scope of your life is different than the next person's. A lot of people have this thing in their head. They got the 9 to 5 hustle and bustle of work and life and different things. Not everybody works a standard 9 to 5 job. Some people have their own businesses and they operate in certain hours. Some people might have clients that are overseas, so they're working at all crazy hours. You could have just an overnight job where you say you're a nurse, or you work in a warehouse and you work third shift, or like you work, George, like you work and you work bouncing at a club like for some hours and stuff during the week. So your schedule and your life is completely different. I don't believe you necessarily have to beat the sun up. Actually, someone I know is one of the most successful people I know, multimillionaire, doesn't actually beat the sun up, and he talks about it in his book. He does not beat the sun up. He starts work around 7:30, and he owns his multiple real estate, um, title agencies, different things. But this guy's a multimillionaire, and he does not. He always says, big advocate. Everybody's like, "Oh, beat the sun up." He's like, "I don't work out in the morning. I work out at night when I feel stronger at night." So life is different for everybody. And to be honest, I have not been beating the sun up every single day. There's some days where I do, and there's other days where I feel like I'm working out maybe later in the day, or I'm starting work
feels that way.
later, and I'm working into the night. And sometimes my thought process is I'm a little bit more productive after the 5 o'clock hour, and then I feel stronger at night as well. So it
Yeah.
depends really on the day. I kind of want to get back to a morning just to I always tamper depending on where I'm at with work in life, or like career wise, or where I'm at with, everything kind of goes around what your work schedule is, or how you're working, or, how you're using your time. But I'm going to be honest, like I always like to experiment of how I'm feeling at different points in my life with doing like the morning routine, like getting up super early before the sun gets up, And, I feel accomplished a lot when I do that, but also you don't have as much energy later in the day. So at the end of the day, we have the same 24 hours. You just got to use them effectively. So while routine is very important, in my opinion, I do not believe that it really matters if you keep this one up or not.
Exactly. Right.
Use your time effectively when you are awake. And you're going to understand that's not going to matter because everybody's life's different. Some people, you might have clients, you might work for a business or whatever your career is, you might have to be up at 4:00 in the morning or 3:00 in the morning to get to work by 4:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning. I know people that do that all the time, depending on what their job title is or what they do. A lot of blue collar workers are up before the sun gets up, and they got to be over, they got to be at their job site at certain hours. It really depends on what your life is.
It depends on your structure, your schedule, how you live your life, and then again, what's your kind of like how the way you make money, like your job, or if you own a business, how you operate, bro. It's kind of got to do, but how you operate and how you move around. It's also like you as a person, everyday life, in this game of life, in the matrix, in your schedule, in your personal life, like you just said. It's just like how you move, so how you operate. So your routine will have to do a little bit of how you operate too. But people get switch routines, and no, you don't gotta have to like I got to the gym by like 6. That's not necessarily nor here nor there. You feel me? Like, there's no real time limit on that. Like,
yeah, you don't have to be at the gym at a specific time. You don't got to be at the gym at 5 a.m. every single day. You don't got to be at the gym at 7 a.m. every single day. Just get it in. That's the whole point. Get it in, no matter what. We all have the same 24 hours.
Right.
Find ways to get it in.
Key, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Consistency. Just stay consistent with like you might not be going the exact same times, and routine is important, but just make sure that you understand you have it on the 24 hours. And honestly, I hate it because I hear so much about the stigma. Like, I feel like everybody thinks they got to get up early. They got to work a 9 to 5. It's like weird. And I feel like we've been conditioned a certain way, but understand, just use your time wisely when you are awake. It's not really about, so if you're someone who likes to go to bed early and then you still want to hit the gym, then you work a 9 to 5 or something like that, then you have to understand that you're going to have to get up earlier and than you normally would to get that in early. So it really depends, but yeah, like I said, some of the most successful people I know, they do not beat the sun up, contrary to popular belief. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. So it really
yeah, depends. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I think honestly, if you're successful, it just seems like you have to beat the sun up, but at the same time, sometimes if you're successful, you have to beat the sun up. But at the same time, you just gotta like you said, know what you're doing, have it planned out. If you have an agenda and like a what do you call it, like a game plan for the day. If you're like a business owner, you operate a certain way. You're a boss. You got like you gotta do like payroll. You gotta open a company. You have a routine, but not to say that like it can't go any other way. Like you said, you can switch the routine. Some of the most successful people that I know that we met are open-minded. They switch up, try different things, different places, not the same time all the time. At a coffee meeting, at a meeting with a friend to catch up, at a dinner. There's ways to do things, basically. So, I mean, routine is important, but it carries to an extent. It's also how you, because it can get also boring and repetitive. That's another thing. People talk about it. Some influencers that I know, some influencers, right, that I read the books, they've talked about it, how it's kind of like, everything repetitive, you got to switch it up a little to keep things interesting,
Yeah. You have to. I mean, not always. Some people like some people like monotony. It all depends on your personality. I am personally somebody who likes to shift things around a little bit every once in a while. That's why I think with morning and night routines, I like to shift it. Like, you know what I mean? I like this. Sometimes I like this. So I'm not going to have the same morning and night routine, for years and years and years and years. I'm more of somebody who likes to every 3 to 6 months, I like to shift up a little bit of my routine. Obviously outside of working hours. So it depends on where I'm at in my career, what role I'm working. I'm someone who's always trying to evolve and advance. So it really depends on where I'm at, but everything kind of revolves around work. And then, obviously, I have the daily tasks of life that everybody else handles, errands, whatever, going to the gym, different things. And then also garnering and nourishing relationships around me. So friends, family, girlfriend, everything needs to, kind of fall hand in hand. So it's you really garner those relationships around you. It all comes from experience. So you got to figure out what works for you. You got to be very confident in your approach, how you handle it. I'd say confidence is critical. of how you handle it. You start to get start to figure out what really works for you. I would say, would you agree with that, George?
Yeah, I would agree with that, bro. Like you said, it's just it comes down to what's a little more like what kind of benefits you a little bit as well, and how you manage your time too. It's a big one. And manage your time, honestly, a routine or daily routine can help you manage your time. But here's the thing: I like to change things up a little, man. I think I'm most successful when I change it up a little bit. However, like you said earlier in the opening statement of the show and all that and everything else, for those that just kind of joined, we're talking about routines and everything else and how much they matter, and if it's beating sun or getting a certain place, certain time, it's the most important thing, it's the key. And we can just talk about it is and it's not neither. It just kind of depends. But yeah, bro. I mean, like you need to have like your own kind of like main routine, which you can call like your routine native to you, to who you are as a person, your daily routine, your in-house routine. You get up, you do this, couple push-ups, you go outside, smoke a cigar or something, drink a little, like, some tea, get ready, wash up, get dressed up or whatever. But some people might do it different. They get up later. Waking up is a routine too. It's just a sleep schedule part of the routine. It's just an element within the whole spectrum of things that we're talking about. So
yeah.
You have to figure out what your goals are, what you're trying to do. But man, it's just like I said, you got to be confident in your approach. You have to really, with routines and stuff, though. You got to implement buffer time, because there's distractions, man, and I feel like everybody doesn't have the willpower to cut distractions out every single day. You got to get better and better and better with it. But distractions, they suck, and they not only do they suck the life out of you. So wasting time scrolling on social media and all the other crap that's around you. Honestly, what your goals are, you need to really focus and dial in. A lot of times, we're in a society where we like to pass the time. We want instant gratification. We've said this 5 million times. But people want their instant gratification. They want at their fingertips. They want entertainment from social media, whether it's scrolling on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
You want instant gratification from the food we consume. You want instant gratification from pornography. You want instant gratification from shows, movies, different things. And entertainment's okay, but when your life is ruled by entertainment, we don't just work 8 hours a day and then consume content all day. There's more to life than that. And I think what real people are built of outside of working an 8-hour shift, your mindset is really tested, because at that point you're not responsible for anything. You're not. I mean, you might have a family at home, but all I'm saying is your choices are what dictate the rest of your life. So when you work for an employer, you have to show up or you're going to get fired, right? Outside of work, you have to hold yourself accountable. So that is the most critical thing. A lot of times we let ourselves down because we know you'll be accountable to an employer, but you won't be accountable to yourself. When you think about it, it's crazy, but it happens all the time. And that's the thing. Like we're usually accountable to our employer, but we're not accountable to ourselves. Outside of 8 hours, outside of working 8, or by the time a lunch is taken, 7.5 hours a day at a corporate job, we do not take care of ourselves. This is something we think about. We consume a lot of entertainment and other things, and like I said, it's not a problem. But when you overconsume, and that's all you do outside of an 8-hour work shift, it's just. We don't hold ourselves accountable enough, man. What is up with that, man?
I don't know, but I think it's just like we're conditioned to like just be loyal and work to the job and give everything to the job, but we kind of don't look at the other things around, because thinking money. I mean, you got to know your worth, But
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I agree with 100%, bro. People don't really talk about it enough, but we're not really. And then we're accountable to that. We try to do our best at a job, but we let ourselves sometimes go in public or outside, it's something like it's your job, because your job keeps you balanced, but you got to try to keep the same type mentality when you're out there, like, don't spend too much money, don't get too, messed up out there, go to the right places, don't make, stupid choices, because at the job you're feared of getting let go or whatever, so in life you just feel like, oh, well,
Yeah, no, I get it. George, what time can you realistically stay till?
Actually, I got off in like the next minute, to be honest. It's already 6:40, and I gotta get off, unfortunately. But I mean, you could go a little longer.
Yeah, I honestly might just keep it to a full 30 minutes, so that way, we'll keep this one short. Not all episodes to be long. We kind of addressed a lot, so when you have to go in a minute, I'll go like 5 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's been a good episode, bro. And honestly, we could do like more parts like this and like a part 2 continuation, because the whole routine thing it gets tricky. It gets, again, time management and factors, how you feel in a day too. So it's a pretty open-ended type of discussion, if you will, and topic.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's very open-ended. So you really get to figure it out. And I was saying, though, I'm like, we're conditioned. You're right, though. We're conditioned to feel a certain way, and I feel like that's where routine comes in. You got to stay structured, man. And without the routine and the structure, it's just we tend to struggle. But I don't want to hold up too much of your time, man. If you can't stay, like I said, I'll probably go to about 6:45 on here and wrap it up there. But
I'm gonna get off soon. If you're gonna go another I would go another 5-6 minutes if I was you. Maybe 7 with the closing statements. But if you have anything to say, I mean, we're there. So unfortunately, I do gotta go. But I definitely wanna come back next week for another good episode, and the week after. And some coming up, so we got some good ones.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So guys, thanks for listening and for watching. I gotta go right now, but Steve, I'm sure you're gonna hold it down for a little longer. I'll probably tune in as I drive to work or something. So
yeah, sounds good, man. All right, man. Have a good night. I'll talk to you. All right.
Peace. You too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care.
See you guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, so George had to kind of wrap up there, as you heard. Yeah, but that's the genesis of it, guys. It's just routine. Without routine, it's just chaos. Life is all over the place, and we tend to be a lot less confident without routine, without structure. We panic more. We're a little bit more frantic. Spontaneity is a good thing in life, but it's not when you have goals and certain things you want to accomplish. Now, taking adventures and spontaneity outside of, your wealth and your career and everything, it's nice. It's nice when you can, it depends on what your life goals are, and if you're trying to travel for work, do whatever. But all I'm saying is, outside of it, you do need some structure. I believe structure and organization is critical. Routine is important. And I feel like honestly, with the routine, it allows your life to flow a little bit more easy. Now, you can always switch those routines up here and there, but when I'm talking about routine, it's routine for a few months here and there, switch up. It allows life to flow better. And back to point 2, waking up before the sun, I don't think it's a necessity, not at all. And everybody's life is different, how it's structured. And even if you do work a 9 to 5, do you have to beat the sun up? No. You can always work into the evening and then sleep in a little bit more and then start later. It really depends on your life, what you do. Are you a corporate employee? Are you a blue-collar worker who works their hands? Are you someone who owns their own business? Life factors many different things. There's a ton of different careers, different opportunities to garner wealth. How you utilize your time is just important. And that's where you implement the routine that works for you, structures for you, whether it's the wake up routine, the wind down at night routine, or say you work third shift, you wind down in the morning, you go to bed. Everything's different. So routine important, beating the sun up, not so much. A lot of gurus will preach to you that it's important. I have found you really have to figure out what works for you. Because I have thought, and I've accomplished a lot of things with not beating the sun up, which is why I don't think it's the most important thing in the world. And I know people that are a lot more successful than I am. I'm talking very, very, very successful individuals, either at my age, older than me, even younger. And some of them do not beat the sun up. They are not individuals. They do not believe that. I think even Jeff Bezos once said that he had a routine where he was not beating the sun up. He would have a late morning and everything. Now, I mean, when he was building Amazon, it might have been different. But he's talking about like his current life situation. But like I said, routine important. Beating the sun up, not so much. It really depends on how you utilize them 24 hours. We all have them. Like I said, I see a couple people popped on. I'm about to end this stream, just keeping it to 30 minutes. We were about 15 minutes late, unfortunately. I'm so sorry about that. Things do happen. It sucks when it does, but we keep going. George had to bounce out. I'm gonna wrap this up here, guys. I'm gonna keep this a really, really short episode. Like I said, we got guests for the next few weeks, and I know last week I said we were supposed to have someone this week. It was George's boy. It was Joe Vick, who works as a DJ and he does a lot of other different things in the nightclub industry. He is coming next week. So we will have him. He was supposed to come this week. He's coming next week. And then we got a good lineup kind of going into Labor Day weekend, going into all of September. We're trying to fill the calendar right now. So we're working on that. So apologize there was no guest this week. So it was a little bit of a buffer episode. That being said, guys, I want to wish you all a great weekend. Summer's winding down. We're still going to have time in September. But take advantage of these weekends, guys. I think the weather's supposed to be beautiful this weekend. I believe. Don't hold me to that. I haven't really checked in the last couple of days. But enjoy yourself. If you have opportunity, maybe your weekends during the week, whatever. Take advantage, guys. Summer's winding down. Make sure you spend time with those closest and most important to you. The key is to be free in 2023, and freedom is a mindset. So with that being said, guys, have a great weekend. We will see you for episode 140 next Thursday. I'm feeling really good about that episode. So that being said, guys, have a great night, great weekend. And like I said, we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. If you have any questions about anything you want to drop, you can always, DM us at the podcast pages. Our link tree is down below for inquiries to come on the podcast. You can check out our website. We have a form at the bottom. The website is linked down there. Go to the bottom, and what it'll do is it'll send it to our joint podcast email, and where you can just message us, DM us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and we'll see where we can fit you in. Have a good night, guys. Good weekend. See you next week.